You crave unbreakable habits. You dream of a life where consistency isn't a struggle, but a second nature. You want to finally build something meaningful, to silence the nagging voice of self-doubt and finally, truly dominate. What if I told you the path to effortless, unwavering consistency is paved with pure, unadulterated, excruciating discomfort? What if the most powerful secret to forge any habit you desire, to become an unstoppable force, isn't about finding motivation, but about brutally murdering your dependence on it? Some of you will shut this down now. Some of you will dismiss this as too hard, too raw, too honest. This message isn't for the weak, the complacent, or those content to drown in their excuses. This is for the warriors ready to confront the brutal truth, to break the chains of emotional slavery, and to declare war on the internal adversary that keeps you perpetually paralyzed, waiting for a feeling that may never come. Are you ready to stop being dominated by your fleeting moods and start dominating your destiny? If not, you never will be. Listen up. We're going to talk about the most destructive lie you've been telling yourself, the silent killer of dreams, the internal adversary masquerading as a prerequisite, waiting for motivation. Waiting for it is a loser's strategy. Let's be brutally honest. You wait for motivation to hit, like it's some divine inspiration, a lightning bolt from the sky, a feeling that will magically propel you forward. You wait for it to wake up, to work out, to call that client, to write that chapter, to start that business. You wait, and you wait, and you wait, until your dreams die with you, unfulfilled, unnoticed, a silent testament to a life lived in passive expectation. This dependence on feeling motivated is a toxic addiction, a mental paralysis that keeps you enslaved. It's a convenient excuse, a comfortable lie you whisper to yourself to justify inaction. I just don't feel like it today. I'll do it when I'm more motivated. This isn't a lack of discipline, it's a surrender to the most fickle, unreliable dictator on earth, your mood. Your mood is a weak, unpredictable general, and you've handed it the keys to your entire empire. Why would you allow such a fragile, ever-changing entity to dictate your future? This adversary doesn't want you to succeed. It wants you to stay subjugated, comfortable in your mediocrity, trapped in the loop of tomorrow, maybe. The brutal truth is, people who only act when they feel like it are filling graveyards with unfulfilled potential. They are the chronic complainers, the eternal procrastinators, the ones always announcing grand plans on social media but never delivering results. They are perpetually dominated by an enemy they refuse to confront, their own emotional instability. This isn't just about losing a day, it's about systematically eroding your self-confidence, breaking promises to yourself until your word means nothing, even to you. Every time you wait for motivation, you are strengthening the internal adversary that whispers, "It's okay to quit. You don't have to be strong." This is a war, ladies and gentlemen, and your enemy is your emotional dependency. Your choice is clear: dominate it, or be dominated by it. There is no middle ground. Now, let's shatter another illusion. Nobody, not a single soul who has achieved anything monumental, is always motivated. This is a myth, a pleasant fairy tale that keeps the weak feeling justified in their inaction. Do you think the warrior goes to battle only when he feels like fighting? Does the champion train only when he feels like pushing past his limits? Does the builder construct an empire only when he feels like putting in the grinding, invisible work? Absolutely not. Truly successful people, the dominators, the conquerors of their own internal wars, execute plans even when they are bored, tired, sad, angry, or utterly devoid of desire. They operate on a different plane, driven not by fleeting emotions, but by an iron determination, an unbreakable commitment to the plan. They wake up at 4 a.m., not because they're bursting with motivation, but because the alarm rang. They hit the gym, not because they feel like it, but because it's on the schedule. They tackle the hardest task first, not because it's exhilarating, but because it's necessary. They dominate their weakness. They dominate their sadness. They dominate their misery. They dominate their excuses. They dominate. 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 This isn't some rare superpower. This is the cultivated discipline that elevates them above the masses. They understand that consistency is not born from inspiration, it is forged in the fire of consistent, unglamorous action. While you are waiting for a feeling, they are building empires. While you are debating with your mood, they are accumulating small, daily victories that compound into absolute domination. They have learned to transform fear into fuel, to use discomfort as a compass, not a deterrent. They have waged war on the internal adversary that demands comfort and instant gratification, and they have won. This is the reality. There is no magic pill, no hidden secret that bypasses the grit. There is only the ruthless commitment to your plan, regardless of the emotional chaos raging within. You must realize that your feelings are passengers, not the driver. You are the commander of this vessel, and you dictate the course. Nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares if you're tired. Nobody cares if you're unmotivated. The world demands results. The world demands execution. Are you going to continue letting your fickle emotions dictate your trajectory, or are you going to rise up, seize control, and become the dominator you were meant to be? The choice is yours. So, how do you break free from the tyranny of emotion? How do you deactivate the crippling need to feel like it and act mechanically, based only on the plan laid out? I present to you the anti-emotional execution method. This is a protocol, a system, a declaration of war against your internal adversary of comfort and complacency. This isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about separating them from action. First, transform your plan into an unbreakable law. Your plan is not a suggestion, it is a sacred command. Treat your schedule, your goals, your commitments as if they were orders from a military general. There is no debate, no negotiation, no, what if I don't feel like it? The moment it's written down, it becomes an absolute. This isn't flexible, it's a non-negotiable pact with your future self. When your internal adversary of procrastination whispers, "Just 5 more minutes," you will respond with the cold, hard logic of the law. Second, implement the if-then system for automatic discipline. This is about removing decision-making from the equation when your mood is trying to hijack your actions. Create conditional formulas. If the alarm rings, then I get out of bed immediately. If it's 6 p.m., then I start my workout, regardless of how I feel. If I complete task A, then I move directly to task B, no breaks, no distractions. This preemptive strike against your emotional interference creates an automatic trigger response mechanism. You build neural pathways of consistency, making discipline your default state, not an effort. You become a machine of execution. Third, embrace the "do it anyway" command. This is your war cry. This is your battle standard. When the internal adversary of comfort tells you to quit, when your body screams for rest, when your mind invents 1,000 excuses, your only response is, "Do it anyway." This is the moment you build mental fortitude, the moment you forge your iron will. Every "do it anyway" is a hammer blow against your weakness, a declaration of intent to your internal adversary. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's precisely what you need. This technique will break you, but only to rebuild you stronger. It is the raw, visceral act of dominating your own resistance, proving to yourself that you are the master, not your mood. This method isn't about being numb, it's about being in absolute control. It's about taking back the power from your fleeting feelings and anchoring it in unshakable action. Stop negotiating with your own mind. Stop giving your weakness a voice. Decide now. Commit now. Execute now. The fight is won, not with motivation, but with the brutal, relentless application of this anti-emotional protocol. The devastating power of not depending on mood to advance, while others wait for Monday, for next week, for when I feel better, is emotional independence. This is the ultimate freedom, the pinnacle of self-mastery. Imagine a life where your progress is never dictated by the whims of your internal state. Imagine waking up knowing, with absolute certainty, that you will execute your plan, regardless of the emotional weather forecast. This is the domain of the unshakable, the invincible, the truly free. When you achieve emotional independence, your results don't just multiply, they explode. While others are perpetually stuck in the starting blocks, paralyzed by their lack of feeling like it, you are relentlessly advancing. You become a force of nature, a consistent machine that never deviates from its course. This isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. You transform from a victim of circumstance and emotion into a dominator of your own will. Your self-respect skyrockets because you finally, consistently, honor the promises you make to yourself. Your word, to yourself, becomes gold. This radical shift creates an unbreakable feedback loop. The more you act without needing motivation, the stronger your discipline becomes. The stronger your discipline, the more results you generate. The more results you generate, the more unshakable your self-confidence, your inner power. You are no longer waiting for external validation, nor are you held hostage by internal chaos. You are the architect of your destiny, the general of your internal war, and you lead with an iron fist. Emotional independence isn't a luxury, it's a strategic advantage in a world full of emotional slaves. It's the difference between a life of quiet desperation and a life of absolute domination. This is the power to build any habit you want today, to achieve any goal you set, because you've removed the greatest variable, your unreliable emotions. The reward for this brutal discipline is not comfort, but an unshakable sense of self, a profound reliability that emanates from every action. It's the ultimate freedom to act, to create, to conquer, without waiting for permission from your feelings. The question is, are you ready to claim it? Are you ready to stop waiting and start dominating? So, get up today. I command you. Get up and declare war on your emotional dependency. There is a warrior inside you, an unstoppable force, an identity waiting to be forged in the fire of brutal, consistent action. Don't let your internal adversary, that voice of comfort and excuse, keep you subjugated for another moment. You are not weak, you are simply allowing your power to be blocked by the illusion of needing to feel like it. That ends now. You are the one who has endured setbacks nobody else could imagine. You are the one who carries burdens few could bear. That unique struggle, that unique pain, is not a weakness, it is the raw material of your unique strength. Nobody endures the blows you endure. Nobody has fought the internal battles you have fought. That makes you special, not a victim. That makes you the right person, the chosen one, to dominate this internal adversary. Your story is different, and that's why your power will be different, devastating and unique to you. This is your moment to break the chains. This is your moment to transform. Get up. Dominate. Attack your plan. Conquer your comfort. Execute without hesitation. This is not about being perfect, it's about being relentless. This is not about never falling, it's about always getting back up, immediately, without negotiation, regardless of how you feel. Your internal adversary thrives on your excuses, on your hesitation. Starve it of those. Feed it action. Feed it consistent, brutal, unwavering action. The war is fought in the small, unseen moments, when no one is watching, when you would rather do anything else. Win those moments, and you will win the war. Win this internal war, and you will dominate everything. You've heard the truth. Now, what will you do with it? Will you continue to be a slave to your fleeting emotions, or will you rise up and dominate? This is your turning point. This is your declaration of war. I want you to make a public commitment, not just to me, but to yourself and to every warrior battling this same adversary. If you are ready to stop being dominated by your mood and start forging unbreakable habits, then right now, in the comments below, I want you to write, "I will dominate my mood." This isn't just a comment. This is your battle cry. This is your public declaration of war against the internal adversary that has held you hostage. Join the legion of dominators. Join those who choose action over emotion, discipline over desire. Your transformation begins the moment you declare your intent. So, write it. Declare it. And then, go out and handle your business.